Hi everyone, this is Jen Wickwire with Pearson's with Realty, and today I'm doing a buyer's guide in a competitive market for Northern Virginia. So I'm going to do it in two parts. The first one is going to be basically the offer process, and the second one is going to be how to make the offer competitive. So before we start on the offer parts and the process, I wanted to say two things. The first thing is I always tell my buyers to get a pre-approval prior to looking for homes. The reason is, let's say you see something you absolutely love and you want to put an offer. The seller is not going to accept your offer if you do not have a pre-approval. They do not know if you're qualified or not. So having that prepared is important. The second thing is I like to set you up on an auto email through the MLS. It is accurate and real-time information. Some of these online sites just do not have accurate information. This way I know that when you say, hey, I want to schedule a showing, I know that it's still on the market. Some of my buyers will find out that it's already been under contract 2 days later because they're using online sites. All right, so now let's talk about the offer process. When we go shopping and you say, hey, I really like this house, I want to put an offer, I'll do two things. I'll call the agent to find out if she has any offers in hand. The reason is whether she has 0 offers or 5 offers makes a huge difference in the kind of offer that we submit. Number 2, I'll pull comps. Sometimes in this competitive, crazy market, if there's no inventory, sometimes it doesn't even seem to matter what the comps are. It's kind of whatever people are willing to put in. But the truth of the matter is buyers always want to know what the comps are. They don't want to feel like they're paying too much. So I'll go back and I'll pull those for you and tell you what I think the price range should be. The reason is sometimes the agents will price it too high. Sometimes it'll be just right. Sometimes it's low. So that's good information for you to have. So besides the price, now, there's also something called the earnest money deposit. So that is money that is saying to the seller that you're serious about purchasing their home, but it's also money that's going to be held by the closing company, and it's going to be there and waiting to go towards your down payment later. But that's also the money that you can get back if you should void the contract based on the following contingencies. So the first contingency, or what I call safeguard for the buyer, is the home inspection. Back up real quick. So if the seller signs a contract with you, they cannot back out, but buyers can back out based on contingencies and get their deposit back. So the first one is the home inspection. So there's 3 choices. So you hire a home inspector, you get the results. You can ask the seller for repairs or back out if you don't like the results or if you can't come to an agreement with the seller. So that's the first choice, where you ask the seller for repairs. Number 2, the second one is where you don't ask the seller for repairs, but you can still back out just like you could for option A. You could still back out if you don't like the results. And the third option is you just waive the contingency altogether, so you don't do a home inspection. So that's the first protection. The second protection is the appraisal contingency. So every buyer who has a loan, the lender is going to order an appraisal. Why? The reason is they're not going to let you borrow $1 million because you submitted $1 million on a house that's only worth $500,000, right? So the lender is going to order a third-party person, objective party, to go out and tell them what they think the value of the home is. So let's say, for example, you offer $500,000 and the appraiser says it's worth $490,000. So now there's a $10,000 gap. So either the seller has to come down to $490,000 in price, or you're going to have to pay the $10,000 difference in cash, or you're going to have to negotiate and meet in the middle somewhere. And if you cannot come to an agreement, you could void the contract, get your deposit back. The third contingency is the finance contingency. So at the beginning, the lender is going to pull your credit, ask for some income statements, and then based on that information, they're going to give you a pre-approval. It's saying that they think that your loan will go through. Now, for some reason, let's say after the seller picks your contract, the lender starts asking you for 1 million documents and they find out for whatever reason you're not qualified. If you have that finance contingency in place, you can still back out of the contract and get your deposit back. If you waived that finance contingency altogether, that means the deposit will be forfeited to the seller. So the contingencies, the home inspection, the appraisal, the finance, those are protections for you to be able to back out of the contract and get your deposit back. Now, there's other parts to the contract to know. Maybe you want to put in an escalation clause because it's a multiple offer situation. That means there's a max ceiling that you're not willing to go over, but you're still willing to beat another offer by X amount. So that's another thing to know. And then other things to know are like, you know, do you want to do a pest inspection, a radon inspection? Do you want to ask the seller to pay for 1 year of home warranty for you? So those are some other little parts of the offer itself. But again, the main parts are the price, the earnest money deposit, when you're going to close. Is it going to be 30 days? You know, what kind of contingencies are you going to have in place? And then all the other extra little things that I just mentioned. So I hope that this was helpful. And in the next video, I'm going to talk about how to make the offer competitive. Thanks for watching.